Working on Pete Docter's films are always incredibly special because he chooses these deep ideas that everyone can connect to in some way.
I remember pitching this film to somebody and saying, and so the whole purpose of this story is to really explore, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to say the meaning of life. That sounds so pompous and arrogant and like, what? Who's gonna watch this movie?
Pete only picked like the biggest, heaviest, most like universal topic in the world.
The movie is so ambitious because it ultimately becomes really universal in its highlighting these questions of like why we're trying to do the things that we're doing.
Where did we come from and how do we get the way that we are and why are we here and what are we supposed to do with the time that we have while we're here?
The big concept of the film is this idea of the great before, we're calling it. When you see your kids born or you meet babies and they already have kind of a unique personality.
When my children were born, you look them in the eye and it's like you already kind of know who they are.
Where does that come from? And what is that crazy mix of personality traits that you can get? And it's almost an infinite number of personality traits that can create an infinite number of personalities. And we just started to riff off of all of that.
The noobs are the key to little kids, right? So that if we can find appeal, they're like the puppies of the movie that should be so cute and funny and unexpected.
Hell. Quiet coyote.
This is where it all started. This is the moment where I fell in love with jazz.
We knew we wanted Joe to be an artist because it spoke to us. There was a short period of time where Joe was an actor and he lands his big break on Broadway. But then we just moved over to jazz because Pete and I have this deep love of jazz.
What's so brilliant about jazz musicians is that they're able to take the feeling of the audience, the specific tune that was chosen, the riff that the bass player did, and suddenly this new idea comes out, an expression of something that's deep in them in a very specific way.
Soul is a story of a man who, for all of his life, he's felt like his life's purpose was to be a musician, who on the day that he gets his dream, after decades and decades of work, dies.
Joe feels like there is one way my life should go. I have this goal, I'm driven, I'm passionate, I'm going to make this thing happen.
They say that life is a blink of an eye. So I always say, don't waste your blink. So that's basically what Joe is experiencing. His blink is beginning to close and open and be over. So he's trying not to waste his blink.
He ends up in the place called the U Seminar, and there he meets soul number 22, who's been there for maybe thousands of years. And it's kind of through their relationship and through 22 that he realizes this is how I'm gonna get back to my body. The problem is 22 has no interest in Earth.
Earth, blah. Who needs it? She doesn't want to go. She's had a lot of amazing mentors. Mother Teresa.
I don't like you.
Copernicus.
The world doesn't revolve around you, 22.
That's why she's a difficult mentee, because she's seen it all, already heard it all, and is firmly against it.
You know, I'm comfortable up here.
We like to say that this story is what happens when a soul who doesn't want to die finds himself stuck with a soul who doesn't want to live.
That's what life does. It eventually buries a soul.
We kind of always knew the root of what she was, which was that she was a cynic.
The ways in which she's cynical and the things that she's scared of are really relatable, you know, and life is scary at times. Life hurts, things can be painful, and everyone has moments of like, oh, it's too much, I'd rather opt out. I like the phrase JOMO, which is the opposite of FOMO, which is the joy of missing out. That's kind of where 22 is residing at the beginning of the movie.
I'm sure your life was amazing and you did amazing things, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stand here in silence for a little bit, then we go back out, you say you tried, I go back to not living my non-life.
A lot of JOMO.
Joe is a guy who's so passionate and driven and knows what he wants out of life. I think probably a more common experience for people in the world is more like 22, who thinks that's what I should have, but I don't have that, and what's wrong with me?
What does that mean? You know, is it that you do have a gift and you just have to keep working at it to uncover it? Or does it mean that the universe is like really mean and gives some people gifts and other people not, which I hope is not true?
Her experience as a character, feeling unworthy or that she's not good enough, is something a lot of us struggle with. The film speaks to that as well.
The music is just an excuse to bring out the you. And that's why I became a jazz musician.
That passion that you can have for something can really make you grow as a person, but it can also destroy you. A gift and a curse are kind of two sides of the same coin.
Most of the time we think of passion and drive as being really positive, and usually it is. However, the dark side of it is that it can exclude you from really living. It can blind you from the gifts that you might walk right past because you're so myopically focused on this one thing.
I've been waiting on this day for my entire life. I thought I'd feel different.
By the end of the film, he's after something else that's actually much more universal and important.
I just really responded to a story that was trying to synthesize that your life has meaning both because of what your talents are and sort of what you're driven to do, but also, you know, the fact that you love your family and the fact that you enjoy a cup of coffee. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Living a real meaningful life is a synthesis of both, and I thought that was just such an awesome and powerful message.
You don't have to be the most important person in the world to have a meaningful and great life.
I think we all, like, deep down always ask ourselves, like, what's my life purpose? And maybe people can walk away from this film realizing that life is a gift, and it's the small moments and the day-to-day stuff that really matters the most.